Hello and welcome back to the channel. You are inside Sacred Silhouette with Tanya Denise. And today I just want to give you some instructions and some encouragement if you feel like you are being tossed to and fro and just worried about things in this holiday season, in this month of December, this 11th hour that we are in. I just want to give you some encouragement where God had given me like a couple verses a few days ago, and then I'm going to do a part 2 after this, okay? So a lot of times, I think I've talked about this before, whenever you are single, when you get into this holiday season and like January, you had these feelings like, oh my gosh, I pray, Lord, that by the time this year ends, that, somebody will be in my life, or I'll be engaged at least, or just have that companionship. And you may be in this month and then nothing has happened yet. And that's okay. So, however, I want to give you some instructions that will help you each day as the days pass in this month of December. You never know what God can do. God can do so much in such little time. So know that. Remember, He created the whole earth in 7 days. So this right here is nothing. And remember, we have 366 days this year, not 365, because we had we're in a leap year. Okay. So let me give you this verse. It's Philippians chapter 4, and it starts at verse, I think, 5, and we're going to stop at verse 8. So it says, don't be pulled in different directions or worried about a thing. Instruction number 1, be saturated in prayer throughout each day, offering your faith-filled request before God with overflowing gratitude. So first, you're going to be saturated in prayer. Prayer builds intimacy with God. So it's like, let's say me and you are having a conversation and someone says, and we walk away, and someone says something about me, but it's not true because you know me, and you know that because you've had conversations with me, my heart. You don't just look at me on social media and read my posts. You've had a conversation with me and you know my character. So with prayer, you will build that intimacy with God, and you will have this conversation with Him and building the bond with the Lord. And so it says, secondly, offer your faith-filled request to God. So when you pray, you're not begging, you're not crying, you're not toiling back and forth, but you're talking to God through prayer with faith, knowing that He can do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask, think, or imagine. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? Absolutely not. So you offer your faith-filled requests. Tell Him every detail of your life. Then God's wonderful peace that surpasses human understanding will guard your heart and mind through Jesus Christ. So, have you ever, let me give you an example. Have you ever just had a bad day where you felt kind of sad, you felt like all in your feelings, and all of a sudden you will cry, you'll have your moment, you will talk about like what's been going on, you will pray about it, and then all of a sudden you're at peace and you can't even remember, like, why was I crying? Like, when did I stop crying? If you haven't been there, I've been there. There will be a day where I would just feel like in my feelings a little bit. And I'll tell you this, when I don't pray, like if I go a day or two without having that intimate moment with God and just praying, I have an attitude until I go pray. And then I'm like, oh, I should have did this a long time ago. But back to what I was saying, I would be in a situation where I am praying to God and I would, cry. And all of a sudden, and it was a faith-filled prayer, but it would still be on my heart so heavy that I would it would make me cry. And so after I got up from my prayer, I will feel so much better. I will be at peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding, that's what's in Philippians chapter 4, what I just read. It's like he gives you this peace where it's like you can do anything, like, you know what? I'm not even worried about it. And so life can be happening around you and you can be at peace because you offered your prayers unto God. Faith-filled prayers unto God. So in this season, in this month, don't be tossed to and fro. Don't let the devil hit you upside your head and having your mind all in a tizzy because things haven't happened the way you thought they would for you by the end of 2024. But what you do is you take those prayers to God. You tell him about every detail of your life. Yes, he already knows, but when you tell him, it builds intimacy between the two of you, a bond that will be unbreakable. So instead of always going to your friends, go to God. Tell him every detail about your life, and he will give you the peace that transcends human understanding. It is written. I just read it. Passion Translation. Get you the Passion Translation of the Bible. And like I said, this is Philippians chapter 4. I started at verse 6 and I stopped at verse 8. I didn't read verse 8 because that's going to be part 2 of this word. So I pray that you enjoyed this. Please share this with someone that you think it may bless. And have a good one. Until next time, wait for part 2. Bye.